My name is Mohammed and I'm going to take you through BillBox POS and Accounting software system. This is the pin-based UI to log in into BillBox POS system, and let's log in. By default, it will take you to the sales window. On the left side of software, we have the menu bar. In menu bar, we have different modules like stock management, customer management, supplier management, sales, purchase management, payments, reports, accounts, configurations, maintenance, close cash, etc. Let's start with stock management. In stock management, we have product management, tax management, sales offers management, and associated reports. Let's have a look on how we can define tax. In order to define tax, we have to first define tax category. To add a new tax category, let me add. So I added a new tax category, which is new tax, and then I press save button. So once you define tax category, go to the taxes button. Now here we have to define the tax details. For example, for no tax, I defined a rate as 0% and for VAT I defined 5%. Once you define the tax, now we can enter products and items. So in order to define the products, we have to first define the product category. So here is the window to define product category. So here we defined three categories: materials, general, and cigar. Once you define the product category, it's time to enter stock. On top of product or items window, we have the search filter, and bottom left side we have all items in a list, and then on right side we have the form to enter or edit any item. Let's go through the form. We have a reference number, we have a name, we have a shorthand form of name for display convenience, and an alternative language. We will change this label later. Then we have a barcode number, we have UIM. So basically, if we are selling item is a cartoon, select cartoon. If we are selling the item as a piece, select NOS. If we are selling the item as, basically most of the items will be NOS. And then if we are selling the for example a water bottle, if we are selling all the water bottle in a cartoon, we can select outer. Enter the buy price, bill price, tax category, product category, brand, initial stock, stock volume, discount. If you want to attach into a sales offer, we can select it here. We can attach to a supplier. If you want to enter all the UIMs in one go, we can enter that here. So that's it, stock management. This is the sales window in store mode. To get this sales window, click the sales menu and you will arrive in this window. There is a product filter on top. This can be useful if you want to use this as a normal billing system. We can also use this as a search filter. Now let me explain all these buttons. If we are using barcode, we can disable this. For that, we can go to configuration and uncheck this filter. And once that is done, restart the software. Let me explain all the buttons on top. This is select a customer, so that we can attach this to a credit customer or frequent customer. And then another button, split bill. This one is useful if the customer want to split the bill into two. So we can select another customer here, or we can print like two bill without any customer. There is a note. This is just a manual note. And if you want to select last ticket, we can use this. If we want to hold the bill, if I want to hold the bill, I can use this button. For example, while billing, the customer said, "Oh, I forgot one item. Can you wait?" Okay. So in that case, we don't have to block the terminal for other customers. We can simply hold the bill and customer like this. We can continue the billing, and once the customer is back, we can restore it from here. This button is useful to search products. This is to apply a discount. This is to apply a discount for the total bill. This is to apply discount for a particular line. Here the quantity is 1. If I want to make this as 2, I can use this button. By using minus, I can subtract as well. Now we have to go do the payment. For that, we can use the equal sign. So we have cash, debit, ATM card, and so on. Here there are two buttons, invoice off, receipt on. If we make this on, it will print an invoice. If we make this on, it will print a receipt. There are 4 other buttons. This will be useful for quick actions. For example, I want to make cash this done. And similarly others. Card means ATM card. So that is sales. So now what if we want to edit the sales? The customer came back and said, I want a refund, for example, or I want a detailed invoice. In this case, we can select the customer from here, and this is his bill. We can refund this, refund one item, or refund all, whatsoever. Or if you want to take a detailed invoice, I can use this. Now purchase. So similar to a sales window, there is a purchase window as well. If we have an inventory, we can use this. The rest of the buttons are almost same, so I'm not going to explain all those stuffs. Similarly, there is a edit purchase window. There is a purchase order. Order form. Order form is similar to sales, except this is useful in case of bookings. So we can collect some advance, and this will be very useful in case of job oriented applications. So we can take some bookings, and once it is completed, then we can process this order form later. Settlements. Settlements will be useful in case of restaurants where we will order for some food items, and once we are done, then we will pay the amount later, like this. So here we can pay the amount and get the bills or receipts. Now payments. Apart from normal billing, we will have expenses or we will have cash coming in, for example an investment or whatsoever. So in that case we can use this module. Cash in means some cash is coming in. So cash out, for example, I have a car and I spend 50 euro to for fueling. Similarly, bank in, bank out, or for example, a credit customer come for payment, we can use this. Or supplier. Close cash. After each cycle or after each day, we can close the account. So this screen will show a summary of all the actions on that day. Here, for example, in this payment report section, we can see cash, some cash came in, some expenses, some purchases are done, some refunds are done, and it's also showing how much we have as balance. And then there is a tax summary, and once we are okay, we can close our cash for the day. We have a lot of reports in sales. A lot of sales reports are here. So for example, cash close report, product sales, terminal, moving items, trends, profit tax, sales by category, non-moving items, and similarly there are some purchase report as well. And this is customer management. Will be very useful to manage credit customers. So we can add the customer details here and the customers will be listed here. There are some reports as well. Similarly there is supplier management as well. So we can add suppliers here by using this form and the suppliers will be listed here. There are some reports as well. Then we have accounts. So all these accounting modules are there. These are basically settings for the account. Also we have all these reports: trial balance, profit and loss account, balance sheet, profit and loss by day, by month, tax summary. Now configuration. So this is basically the settings. This is the business information. If you want to make full screen, you can use this. This is very important stuff. I will explain. This is basically to select the mode. If it is a restaurant, if we want to make it as kiosk, we can select that. We can use store, we can use delivery mode. Then there will be some additional functionalities. Basically the sales window in kiosk mode. This will be useful if we have limited number of items. This will be good in case of cafeteria or roast shops. So instead of filters or item list, we have big buttons here. So in case of touch screen, we can just go and click to make the sale. Other settings include on-screen keyboard, which is a keyboard on touchscreen displays. And if you want to enable alternate UIM, you can check this. If you want to show catalog images, you can check this. If you want to disable or enable product filter, you can use these checkboxes. If you want to make receipt on sales window, we can check this. If you want to make invoice print on, then you can check this. And there are some setting checkboxes for restaurant modes as well. If you want to make receipt print on in purchase window, check this. Similarly, invoice print, also in purchase order. If you want to make receipt print on, click this. Or if you want to make invoice print on, click this. Peripherals. Here we will configure hardware peripherals. Configure customer display here, printer, scale, scanner, reports printer as well as barcode printer. Email configuration, locale configuration. Here you can change the language, configure formats like integer, double currency, percentage, dates. Here we can configure payment gateway. Here we can configure database backups. Maintenance. This module is useful for admins to configure the system. Here they can configure branch, users and their roles, resources where they can enable or disable modules, kitchens in case of restaurants, warehouses, configure sections, banks, floors, configure tables in case of restaurant, take backup as well as restore from database, reset system to blank database. Also they can upload categories, products and product barcodes in bulk in Excel format. For that, the required formats needs to be downloaded from below buttons. They can also change their PIN here. That's the end of presentation. Thank you.